All right. Well, hello everyone. Hopefully, we see more folks joining the meeting. But this is my first ever developer event here at Zendesk, so I'm really excited. I've joined this team in April this year. So, hello. If I haven't met you yet, I'm Jen Yim, the new product manager for support apps. This is the rest of the team Kookaburra that I work with. We own support apps and app support API endpoints. Most of the folks on this team are based out of Melbourne, Australia, so they're sleeping right now as we speak, but they're here with us in spirit. Our vision for support apps is that really anything an agent can do, an app should be able to do and do it and much more. And we do that by empowering our customers and developers to craft apps that extend on the Zendesk support interface. All right, so before we dive into the main content, I just wanted to clarify what we mean here by support apps, because during research interviews and sometimes during conversations, when we say support apps, different things go through people's minds, and so we just wanted to point you guys in the right direction. So what we mean by support apps are API endpoints that manipulate the support UI, events that support apps could listen to, apps visually rendering in the support UI, and app instance management between support applications. And then the rest of app developer ecosystem, like the marketplace, billing, installation, sandbox testing, and any backend infrastructure frameworks, those are kind of outside of scope for today's discussion. So just focus on these things today. All right, so today we'll talk about obviously support apps, what they are, why they're important, who uses them, initial research insights, future roadmap, and then how you can continue to partner with us. And then after I'm done presenting, we wanted to open this up to just open forum, hear from you guys on any questions, feedback you have, feature requests that you've been longing to see in the support apps experience that we would love to hear. Okay, so for some context, what are support apps? A lot of words on a slide, but basically they're a way for our customers and developers to customize and extend Zendesk's core functionality so that they can meet their specific use cases. They're split between public apps and private apps. So public apps are widely available on the Zendesk app marketplace for anyone to download, and then private apps are only distributed within the developer's discretion. We'll dive into use cases later that hopefully explain kind of why we have public and private apps. But some of the high profile, popular apps that you might recognize from the app marketplace are like Jira, Shopify, and Salesforce. And then there are many homes where support apps can live. Inside the support product today, we have top bar location, sidebar location on different pages in support, like ticket page, new ticket page, user page, and organization page. We have navigation bar, ticket editor location, and then some apps run just on the background or as a modal. All right, so kind of touching on the goal and impact of support apps. Basically, the product vision that we have for support apps is to make it a complete flexible extension of our core functionalities so that, we can meet every business need of our customers. And in doing so, we aim to increase agent efficiency to the fullest and streamline and unlock new workflows. So, all right, so what is the impact of support apps and why are they important? So just looking at the total number of support apps that are published, we have about 1,600 public apps available on the marketplace, and then a much higher number of private apps, about 14,000 private apps. And so this is a sign that, our customers and developers have a lot of use cases that they really need to meet that go beyond our core functionalities that require building custom apps. And then looking at the percentage of usage of support apps, we have about 73% of customers with at least one support app installed, and then 87% just looking at the enterprise segment customers with at least one support app installed. And if you think about larger enterprise customers, they often have more agents, and so more of a focus on agent efficiency and productivity. So, and then sometimes they even have dedicated resources here at Zendesk, like the professional services team. I saw Skip here; he represents that team, and Premier Advocates. Right, they kind of provide hands-on support and help them get the most of our products through app building. So we think that's probably the reason why there's higher percentage of usage that we see in enterprise customers. And then looking at the impact of support apps on agent efficiency. So we looked at the MTTR metric, which refers to median time to resolution. So how many hours it takes a ticket to go from new to solved. Looking at all of our active support customers today, it takes about 50 hours to resolve a ticket. And then when we compare customers with at least one support app installed versus no apps installed, we see about 11% faster MTTR compared to customers with no apps. And of course, apps are not the only factor in how quickly agents solve tickets, but it is certainly relevant. So we wanted to note this MTTR impact. All right, getting to the personas and use cases. Who builds support apps? Developers like yourselves, and then admins from our customers. So apps can be developed by in-house developers, so like an internal team here at Zendesk, as well as a third-party company. And then admins with strong software skills, they also develop apps for their organizations that contribute to a lot of private support apps that we see. And then who uses support apps, right? Agents and admins for our customers. Agents, their main focus is, solving as many tickets as fast as possible and making their work more streamlined. While admins, their focus is, power and flexibility, enforcing specific business processes that they want their agents to follow, and any like reportings or things that they want to monitor. Okay, so as we know, there is an infinite number of use cases that come with support apps, but this is a small sample of use cases that I've put together. So this of Twilio, one of our customers, they have built a lot of private apps for their company, and some of their commonly used apps are Twilio links in the ticket sidebar location that basically show all the relevant links to agents. And then the Quickie Plus V3 app here in the top bar location to show agents all the relevant ticket views. And so the common kind of use cases that we saw from Twilio is like they want to give agents a quick access to all the relevant information from a single place, just so it's quicker for agents to access everything. And then another agent facing use case I wanted to highlight. I saw Eric here, so he's from Stylo, and Stylo is a really cool partner who specializes in AI apps using natural language processing, and their most popular app is Stylo Assist. It's actually 25th most installed app in the marketplace, and they provide really advanced AI services like giving automated ticket summaries, responses, and any other relevant information for agents to leverage using Zendesk. And so this is really cool. And what's unique about Stylo as one of our partners is that their heavy kind of focus segment is small business and mid-market. And so if you think about like Zendesk AI services, they're often gated behind, plan types that are catered to larger enterprise customers. And so this is sort of bringing inclusivity to all of our customers to get access to AI services and helping us retain small business customers. All right, and then use case from the admin side, another partner of ours, SweetHawk, their popular app called the Tasks and Subtickets, it basically adds a task checklist next to the ticket on the sidebar based on the type of the ticket, and it comes with like features like turning tasks into subtickets or linking tasks to tickets for agents. And so again, this is speaking to admins who want to create specific processes and then they want agents to follow those processes. All right, so moving on to initial research insights. So after I've joined this team just for about a month, I've kind of conducted a self-led research speaking to 10 developers and 5 customer admins just to get an initial assessment of like where their overall experience is, where are we lacking the most, what the improvement needs are that we really should be tackling. So, kind of the common themes of insights that we were able to gather are from the developers, right? Like improving API documentation in terms of coverage and consistency. There are a lot of times where they find things happening in the API code, but then not reflected in the documentation and vice versa. Also, coverage and flexibility of API endpoints and better error handling for apps, and then just better kind of development practices and ecosystem in general. And then from customer admins, they were heavily asking for an easier way to build apps. A lot of the times they don't have the technical expertise, and so kind of going to, which I'll touch on later when we talk about the roadmap. And then also another theme that we've heard was providing like a demo app, easy tutorial for them to build each garden component in the context of a ticket workflow so that they know kind of how to apply and how to code all that. And then for agents, we've heard major improvements that are needed when it comes to app onboarding, app searching, app modals, and app shortcuts. So, how this translates to our future roadmap. And before I get to that, just wanted to throw a safety disclaimer that this information is highly confidential to Zendesk. Please don't share any of this future roadmap information with third parties, or rely on it for making any purchasing decisions. And it is not a promise or guarantee of future availability of products. It is a tentative timeline. So please keep that in mind. All right, so this is our feature roadmap, and currently in Q3, where the team has started looking into the app onboarding experience for agents. So we've heard from a lot of the admins where, they install new apps and agents kind of are not aware of where these apps can be found. They often just kind of hear about it in a meeting with admins or purely by word of mouth, and so they don't have any experience kind of letting them know that, hey, these apps are available, these can be found here. So we've started that work this quarter, and then also looking into exposing AI-driven data through our API endpoints so that we can share, our AI outputs with you guys, like partners of ours, to leverage them and take advantage of our AI solutions. And you guys can kind of determine how to further advance your solutions or determine the best way to display those data in your apps. And then we are actually doing a second kind of deep dive research with our researcher here on those UX improvement areas facing agents. So like app search, app modals, app shortcuts. We're in the middle of research right now. So more to come on that. And then in Q4, we are going to continue working on our app onboarding experience. We are going to do early discovery into how we can offer a low no-code app builder at Zendesk. And so we've often heard from customers, developers, and internal stakeholders that our current app building experience isn't great. And customers' biggest blocker to building apps on Zendesk is that they don't have a developer resource, right? Like often we hear like, we need a developer to do that, or we don't have a developer to do this. And so sort of like creating this concept of a citizen developer, right? Like enabling everyone to build apps, no matter what your skill sets are, so that it's really like possible for anyone to build. And then kind of getting into the build phase of the app builder once we're done with the discovery. And then in terms of the API flexibility, we're going to work on setting custom value to the ticket save event. So this kind of goes to where there are a lot of processes that our customers and developers run on in the background on the ticket save event. So like apps that may like track time on a ticket, or admins want to run a checklist. Um, whenever an agent submits a ticket, or like any applications or system integrations that they want to validate upon ticket submission. We've heard a lot of feedback on, like, 60 seconds that you hard set right now is not enough for us to run all those processes. And so it's giving that flexibility. And then in terms of app icons, pins consistency, we're going to start working on providing icon symbol API, which we do offer today for top bar and nav bar apps, but we want to kind of provide that same functionality for the rest of the applications. We are planning to start with the ticket editor location in Q4. We have dependency on one of the teams, but we're hoping that they open up their capacity in early to mid-October. So that's what we're planning for. And then we will know kind of more on what comes out of this current user research when it comes to the front-end experience of support apps. And I'm happy to share those research insights maybe next time we meet if you guys are interested. And then in terms of like non-feature, non-development side of things, we're going to look into kind of setting up a governance process internally. We've heard from a lot of developers and customers where, like, we're constantly building out new features in our core product, and anytime there's a new build or like in the product or garden, it tends to create a lot of problems on the apps side, whether it's like endpoints breaking or the UI breaking. And so we want to kind of refine the governance process that we have today and kind of make sure like everything is tested from the apps front. And then we're also going to work on the API documentation, making improvements, and consistency there. And then kind of in 2025, we want to expand our apps telemetry work. And so today we can only track API call volumes, but that's not really enough to tell the whole picture behind what's going on with how our customers and developers are using our apps. And so we want to expand on this and be able to track API events as well and create a visual dashboard for us to track easily internally. And then, hopefully, you guys love what we do here with this community event, and we can keep this going at the cadence that you guys prefer. What our future looks like at this time. And then I'll just end this presentation with a quote from one of our partners, Knots. One system can never fit all sizes. Let people build in your system, then you have a viable community which can grow. Force multiply the success of our team at Zendesk through the relationships we have with developer partners. Collaborate, ideate, and validate. And so I think this kind of speaks to the essence of why we're doing an event like this and like why we want to continue growing this developer community. And with that, I've shared the link to Zendesk Experience Research Panel, so you guys can sign up there so that you can be considered for our future research, and we would love to hear your voice. So please sign up. And there's a Zendesk Platform Developer Slack. In case you're not already there, it's the place where we collaborate with all of our external partners. So and then you can Slack me at any time. That was all for my presentation. And I think we can just open it up to the audience.
Thank you. By the way, we've shared the links for the community topic, the sign up for the Platform Developer Slack, the Slack workspace dedicated for this. And if you have questions, it would be great to first the community, because then it has openness to everyone. Anyone can collaborate and vote if they're also interested on whatever you post there. Or, of course, if you want to keep it private, to use email. Although the Zendesk Platform Developer Slack is really cool, because then you have the partners, admin developers, and others, other interested parties who are there to Q&A and share resolution strategies with each other. I believe most of you are there, but if you aren't, happy to let you know. I see a question from Paulo Lemi. Who should we notify when we find errors in the dev logs? Do you have an answer for that, Jen?
I believe there is a dedicated channel in the Slack instance. Oh, yes, documentation channel.
So on Slack, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay. So it would be the documentation channel, though notifying it in the community topic on a community post should work as well, I guess.
Oh, yes.
Anyone else?
I think Luke was asking with maybe questions potentially.
Yeah.
Or not.
Yeah, thank you very much for the availability, Jen. Don't know if anyone wants to cover anything else in the meantime before we wrap up.
I had a question for Jen. I think last month or so, you mentioned in the developer Slack that there was a direction to deprecate one of the API point, I believe it was ticket comments, and replace it with now ready or has been ready for a while now, I think conversation. Has this decision been made? Did you come up with a finalized timeline of when developers need to migrate by?
Yeah, so we are we're definitely going to, announce and let you guys know at least 6 months up front, knowing that there is a direct impact on everything that you're running. But right now we've done some feedback gathering from our developers on the main things that are missing in the conversation API that they're relying on the comments API for. So we're actually filling in those gaps right now before we are, knowing what timeline to target for the deprecation and migration. So right now we're just filling in the holes first, and then we will know more. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Any other comments, questions, things you want to press about?
See a question in the chat. So associating tickets and ticket linking has been a real challenge for the team. Problem/incident and other existing apps aren't giving a great experience. Suggestions? Look, could you please clarify? So ticket linking, what specifically?
So we deal with multiple parties. When we get a complaint from a customer, that's about a service that they received, and we have to reach out to multiple parties from there and follow up the person that delivered this product, the person that provides this product, and how do we associate those all to that initial complaint. We've used problem incidents before. We've tried out the linked ticket app, which lets you do a one-way ticket linking. I've tried out Linkit. So we've tried a whole bunch of different apps, and I don't have the experience to build my own app. Otherwise, I would totally have done that. So how is the best way to link tickets together without linking problem and incidents? Because I don't want to have to solve one ticket and affect all the others. I want to be able to create relationships between my tickets, between my customer complaint and then my follow-up to the individual contacts that are affected by that. Any app suggestions on that?
Maybe not necessarily an app, but a custom relationship field between tickets and users or tickets and organizations, in which you can do one-to-many from the user to multiple tickets, or from an organization to multiple tickets, and then link those. Probably solvable without an app.
Okay. We tried out the custom relationships a little bit, the custom objects, and because it's a one-way, we were able to see from one to the other, but we weren't able to see the whole scope of it, and that was the problem.
Yeah, thank you, but I don't have an answer right now.
Great. Good. Thank you.
I believe the custom objects PM is building many-to-many relationships. So yeah, soon you'll be able to, reference multiple tickets with multiple sets of tickets.
Skip. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay. Luke, what are you trying to do exactly? So you want like multiple tickets to be like in a sidebar so you can see all the tickets that are kind of related to that ticket while you're in it?
Yeah, that would be great.
Let me. There is a linked ticket app inside the app marketplace that you can link one existing ticket to another existing ticket, and it just kind of like, it's more like a parent-child relationship, but it's kind of there. There's also an app called the Project app, which lets you generate tickets and link tickets together, and it kind of displays all the tickets in the sidebar for you, and you can see all the tickets. The parent-child is more of a project management app, but the link ticket is just like this ticket is kind of related to that ticket, and it just kind of does that. You might want to look into those. They're free apps, so it's no harm playing with them.
We had used the link ticket, and I think that just lets you create one ticket.
Okay.
And have a one-to-one relationship, which I liked it, but we need more than that, more than just the one.
The Project app, there's a section in there which lets you to link existing tickets together into a parent-child relationship, and you can do multiple tickets that way.
Okay, I'll check the project management out.
Yeah, it's probably more than you need, but there's a little tab in there that lets you link into current existing tickets. The Project app also kind of allows you to create tickets that are generated off that main ticket, and a whole bunch of other stuff that you probably don't need. But once again, it's free. Give it a shot. See if it does what you need.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Skip.
Yeah, no worries.
Just to build on what Skip was saying, also, a good solution for you might be to just create a unique tag that you then utilize. So there's a very easy way that you could build a sidebar application where every time that you have one of these situations where you need to compile a variety of different tickets together that might have a unique mapping or unique relationships or something, just utilizing a standard ticket tag as a unique identifier to be then able to isolate and then compile a list of all of those different tickets would be pretty useful and pretty easy to do. You could then have the records of that either stored in custom object or anywhere else within the Zendesk environment pretty easily. So like for incident number 1A, you then have a tag that is incident 1A or something. And then it gives you an easy way of being able to compile all of those tags or all of those tickets together in a way that like a one-to-one or a one-to-many relationship might not be able to, as it's just a unique identifier that then is associated with the tickets.
All right, nice. I got a couple suggestions. Thank you. That's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. Some of the challenges that I always face is you're trying to get answers, and all these different ideas is exactly what I wanted to get out of this meeting. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
I had a
Great
question
participation.
for Jen.
Oh, thank you.
So is the built by Zendesk series or group of apps, is it within your team? Is it like an interchangeable,
Yeah.
an overlap between you and another team, I would assume?
Yeah, so that's actually owned by another team based out of Pune, India. There's been some reorg, which is fun. But yeah, so I can give you the contact if you had something specific you wanted to get in touch.
No, I'm just trying to understand like what
okay, yeah,
the whole responsibility
that's
area of the team. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole segment of apps that another team manages.
I'm sharing in the chat some of the app-related repos from Zendesk's GitHub that I found over time, where I see many of those apps built by Zendesk. At least my headcanon is that those were developed to showcase things that could be done with apps like many years ago, to also not only suggest, but also inspire customers to do something with them. But you could try searching like this on GitHub and then finding more. Some of them are no longer available because in the meantime, I found that Zendesk has released main functionality, base functionality to do what some of these apps were meant to do at the time. But it's really cool to explore it from an historical perspective to see the product evolution.
Yeah,
In the community. Sorry, Skip.
I was going to say the built by Zendesk apps were a lot of like apps that were literally designed and built to cover features, and also we did a whole thing for a while where people would pay us. We build apps for the community, and that's kind of where some of these built by Zendesk apps came from. Was like, everybody kind of pulled their money together and said, "Hey, can you build this for us?" And, we took them the suggestions and we did it. Now, as Jen was saying, things have changed over time, and different teams have taken these things over. But but like the project apps, it's probably one of the oldest apps ever built. It was originally built in Zendesk Web. They called basically version 2 of Zendesk from back in 2011, and that project apps have been kind of slowly maturing and going across all the development sessions. So that's why it has probably more features than you need, Luke. But it was also a lot of community feedback went into that project app to get what people wanted and desired. So.
Thanks for the context. I'm really grateful for the apps. Thank you.
A really great thing that
really cool was the community, that sometimes you ask a question, especially in the developer topic, and then one of the dev advocates, Eric used to be a part of it, of course, would just would say, okay, here's the repository of just the minimum function that you would like right now, and then you would just get it right there. Just like that. You'll find a lot of these like minimum apps just serving single function, probably on the Eric's or the other dev advocates GitHub. It's a really cool thing about the developer topic at the Zendesk community.
Absolutely. Yeah, one thing that I wanted to call out that Jen's team has worked really hard on that's currently in beta is a new app scaffold that is utilizing Vite instead of the Create React app boilerplate that it used to. Vite is essentially what even Create React app is pointing to now, is Create React app has been end of life. So if everybody is looking for like some very easy to use state management React functionality, I'd highly suggest checking that out. In the Zendesk platform developer Slack channel, there is a channel ZCLI beta, and it's mentioned in there as well as in a couple of the other channels. So yep. And Raphael was kind enough to drop a link to the app scaffolds there. It is a vast improvement. It already has Zendesk Garden set up in it. And the package size, when it gets minified into getting installed into your Zendesk instance, is about a quarter of the size of what the old Create React app version was. So highly recommend everybody checking that out. It's been great to see them putting some effort into that.
About that question, Luke, I'm not sure if Zendesk is maintaining these apps. My understanding is that no, they won't unless it's like critical functionality like security or big breaking changes. Could you please provide more feedback, either Jen or Skip, please? Yeah, sorry.
That's a Jen question.
This is one of the BBZ apps, right, JJ?
Yeah. Could you guys hear me, by the way?
Could you what now?
Could you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So in regards to built by Zendesk apps, yeah, they're currently right now in just maintenance mode. So any P0s and P1s will be serviced and addressed. But yeah, where Zendesk, as big as it is like running low on resources. So yeah, these apps are purely in maintenance mode, but we hope to optimize and enhance them someday when we have funding for that area.
Oh, and just wanted to call out, Brock had a question in the Q&A. about the program on Jen's last slide?
Which program?
Could it be about the Zendesk research panel?
Oh, I can share my screen real
Oh,
quick.
I bet that was it.
Oh, thank you.
If I can figure it out. Oh, share screen. Okay. All right. Are we talking about this one?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Oh, okay, yeah. I actually learned about this from you, Drew, through this. But yeah, so basically, it's a survey link for you to be considered for a future user experience research, so that we can hear your voice. But yeah, Drew, feel free to elaborate on that.
I don't think that was me.
Oh.
That's okay.
Might have been me. Yeah, might have been me.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. But I'm glad we're able to answer your question there, Brock. And then, yeah, that's the link in the chat that JJ sent. Perfect.
Well, I don't see any other questions, but after the session is wrapped up, there will be a survey link where you can share your feedback and also ask additional questions. Then, yeah, feel free to also leave a message on the community post afterwards if you have any other ones, and if we can have any other feedback sessions soon. Yeah, happy to cover those as well. Otherwise, we'll be hosting our monthly developer user group session. It should be around 1 month from now. Yeah, Ahmed just shared the link in the chat if you'd like to sign up now.
Hey, Raphael, could I get the mic for a minute for a shameless plug?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so at Zendesk, one of our biggest feature requests from agents and customers is dark mode. So we're building it natively. Right now, there's a plugin extension from a third party, but it's paid and it's not fully accessible and it doesn't use Zendesk colors. So we're building it natively, right? It's taking a while because we can't just inverse all our colors, although that could work. But the more scalable way to do it is through our design system, which is Garden. So we're looking to launch dark mode as a first iteration and release in Q1 of next year. And Jen Yim will be posting official comms out to all developers on how to get their apps into dark mode. Because while the rest of the UI will be dark, we don't want apps to be that blinding, bright white area of the screen. And so, yeah, Jen will be posting comms early in advance before Q1 on how developers could make their apps in dark mode. I think from what we know, it'll likely be in one of two ways. The first way is you could leverage Garden, right, which is our design system. But the drawback is that you have to use React components. The other way is we're going to expose an endpoint, an event that lets you know when the agent has toggled their interface to be in dark mode, so that you know when to dynamically change your app to be in dark or light. Basically, you'll have to make two variants of your app, one in dark, one in light, and have to dynamically toggle that based on the value of that dark mode property. Yeah. So that's just heads up that's coming down the line.
And thank you, JJ. And yeah, Paula's question. Yeah, feel free, please.
Right. Yeah, at Zendesk we've kind of centralized as like React as the most scalable framework for us, but we understand that React's not for everybody, right? And it takes, even if you want to refactor to React, that may take a while. And so we're also looking into offering different ways to make Garden, our design system, framework agnostic, so that if you're in Ember or Vue or Angular or vanilla JavaScript, you'll still be able to consume Garden without having to be on React. So we're actively looking into making the design system framework agnostic to meet our developers and our in whatever framework they choose.
That's pretty awesome. Thank you for the additional context. Yeah, I've been experimenting with enabling and disabling light and dark mode without React, just by using design token variables on the root of the CSS, and then having JavaScript just toggle between a different map of variables, which should work. I think that's the way React style components does it too.
I think we Marie did it for the game company, a little switch, and it just toggles between the two CSS files. We did it for Guide though, so.
Oh, so loading an entirely different style sheet and overriding the previous. Yeah, that should work too.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways of handling light and dark mode. I think people overcomplicate it, to put it nicely. It's it's a style, man. Just reload the style sheet.
That's fair. Well, we're 15 minutes earlier, but I think we can wrap up if no additional questions. Then we'll see each other at the next session. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for doing it.
Thanks, everybody.
Please take the survey and let us know what else you want to hear about or discuss next time. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Wish you a great one.
Thanks, everyone.
This has been great. Thank you, everyone.